Hey, how you doing, bud?
That's right. I have Alfie say that to me all the time. There was a saying in a restaurant I used to go to all the time. You go to the men's room and it says, any day above ground is a good day. I think that's mostly true.
So I came home, I did 3 days of IX IV, and I got discharged with oral 69 days.
Yay, thank you. That's a great opportunity. Are we live, George?
Yes, we're live.
Okay, we're live. So good morning to those of us who are here in person, and good morning to those of you who joined us by live stream. When we open in here in this space, we open by choosing songs out of the hymn book. And those of you who are following at home are welcome to sing along. If you have a hymnal, probably you don't. So if you're at home, you might want to just take a moment to create a sacred space of your home. Anybody got a song?
595.
595. And choice of verses, George?
I think they're short, right? 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Sing the whole thing, that's what I'm hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. 593, and you have a choice of verses, Connie?
No, I do not.
Can we choose a couple?
Sure, 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Yeah.
We have time for one more.
How about 588, 1, 3?
588, 1 and 3. Please join me in the welcome. Welcome to the United Church. We are a peace and justice community, a movement towards wholeness in a fragmented world. Together we create a strong sense of belonging, a safe place to flourish, and opportunities to grow in our own way and in our own time. Let's bring in the light of Christ. You know, my that one back there enough. We want a lot of light today. Thank you, Alfred. And Riley. Riley's done most of the work. The heavy lifting. So during this series, which is titled The Colors of Hope, we are changing things up a little bit. We're having a kindness moment as part of our social justice moment. And today Nancy Cross was going to present, but she woke up sick yesterday and is still sick today. She did, is her photo on there, David? There's Nancy. She's been visiting with Nikki and is really excited about the church. And she has a kindness moment to share, which I'm going to read. And it's about the Starling Kindness Crew. So she writes that nearly 2 years ago, a group of residents at the Starling of Nakati Independent Living, where she's employed, embraced a simple, powerful idea. They wanted to become involved in meaningful service projects and find ways to give back to the community. I was honored when they asked me to help organize and lead those efforts, not me, Nancy. Nancy was grateful for the opportunity to help bring their vision to life and to serve as the group's leader and coordinator. So from that conversation, the Starling Kindness Crew was created. So she created a video, which I think you can go ahead and run while I read, maybe. She did a good job. She made a magic movie. So there's the Kindness Crew. Can you turn down the volume a little bit? I'm going to read over it. So what began as a small desire to help others has grown into a group whose mission is rooted in kindness, service, and supporting those in need. Our residents collect food, clothing, pet supplies, hygiene items, and other donations for local nonprofit organizations. They also volunteer their time and talents with a variety of charitable organizations throughout Northeast Florida. Along the way, we have become more aware of the challenges that many people face right here in St. Johns County, including food insecurity, housing instability, and other unmet needs. These realities remind us that kindness is not simply a nice idea. It is one way we can respond to the needs around us and make a positive difference in the lives of others. Nancy writes that throughout this experience, she has learned that kindness is more than something we do. Kindness is a way of being. Every time we choose compassion, generosity, and understanding, we become a little bit more of who we are meant to be. Leading the Stardust Crew has taught Nancy that service is not about age, ability, or circumstance. It's about a willingness to care for others and to take action. One of the things that inspires Nancy most about the Starling Kindness Crew is age is no barrier to service. Many of the volunteers are in their 80s, 90s, and one is 100 years young. These volunteers continue to show up, give back, and make a difference in the lives of others. Their dedication serves as a powerful reminder that every person has something valuable to contribute. So, sorry you couldn't be with us today, Nancy, but thank you for putting that together for us. I think I'm gonna close the door, not just because of the wind, but because it's warm.
Yeah.
See if we can get a little bit cooler. So our current series is titled The Colors of Hope, Fabulous, Fierce, and Fragile, and each week during the series, we are exploring the history of the pride flag. And last week, we looked at the original 8-striped flag, and then we looked at the 6-striped flag, and remembered the meaning of each of the stripes. So let's go over the again. The red stripe is for orange, yellow, green,
serenity in nature.
Harmony, oh, sorry, blue. And then the violet.
Spirit and gratitude.
Okay, and that flag's from the 1980s. The next one we're going to look at is the trans flag, which was created in 1999 by Monica Helms, and it has that white stripe in the middle, which is to remind us to move out of the binary. So the stripes at the top and bottom are blue, which is the traditional color for baby boys. The pink is the traditional color for baby girls. The stripe in the middle is white for those who are questioning, transitioning, or resisting the either or binary, which we all live with. The 5 stripe was designed so that there's no way to fly that flag wrong. Right?
That's good.
Yeah, well, it was. It was publicly flown for the first time in Phoenix Pride Parade in 2000. We're not able to play the video about why Pride is important, but I am going to send it out in the Thursday email, so we have a little bit more of the history. So, with that, I'm going to invite the children who would like to do the sacred sound, light a candle. Warren and Shay, you are certainly welcome to join in if you would like to. And we let that sacred sound move through our bodies. It is holy. You're also invited to spin the kindness wheel. You have to hit it kind of hard, Warren. It's okay. We want it to vibrate. Whoops. Do you remember what yours was, Sydney? Want to read it?
What?
What did Sydney get? Oh.
Clean your room.
Okay, that one's done. That's kindness work done.
Help a friend.
Help a friend. That's a good one. Anywhere you want. You can put it anywhere.
Do an extra chore.
Yay, that was nice. Come on. Want to read it in the microphone?
Pick up litter.
Yeah. You want to spin it first? I'll hold that. Can you read it? Give a high five.
Give a high five.
I'll take one. And you're invited to the kitchen with Miss Barb and Miss Connie. And we're going to take several minutes to center and to settle. This might even be the center of the service. I invite you to let your sacred imaginations go. So take a few deep breaths. Do a lot of exhales, big exhales. And Karen and Kathy, this is a long meditation, just so you know. So in the book, Liturgies of the Wild, Martin Shaw shares what he calls an old idea. And this old idea is that our souls actually live outside of our bodies. The soul, in my way of thinking, is the essence of our being. So that invisible, invincible part of you, that lives and breathes and thinks and feels, is active outside of you. The divinely discerning part of you exists way beyond your physicality. Your soul reaches out. Your soul circles and spirals, moving up and down and around and back. I invite you to imagine that. Imagine your soul seeking, reaching. Perhaps around your body and outside of your body. This old idea is a very different way of thinking for many of us who have been taught that the biggest part of ourselves lives within us. So returning to this ancient understanding of your soul moving outside of your body invites a reimagining. Breathe deeply. Imagine your soul following the breath, softly swirling, gently circling, spiraling. In this imagining, your soul is intimately connected with the air. Your soul is touching the sunshine, one with the rain. Your soul is out there chattering with the squirrels, flying with the birds, dancing with the leaves, sparkling with the dust. This ancient way of thinking, believing, and being is something we humans have moved away from. Preferring or perhaps allowing ourselves to be defined by binary ideas created in the mind of man. Ideas that separated us and divided us from the trees. Ideas that divided humans from the plants and the animals. Separated us into either or categories of male or female, saints or sinners, real or unreal. What if we release ourselves from the binary way of thinking? What if we allow ourselves to circle back to the old idea that we are intimately connected to everything on earth and in heaven? And it is through this connection that we know who we really are. What if we circle back to the ancient story where in a beginning we, you, O human, were formed from the dirt and the dust and the light. Humble, earthy. The Imago Dei, divine, holy dirt. Filled with a soft, holy breath which moves like the wind around within us. are earthly and we are elevated. You are simple and you are mysterious. You are filled with possibilities and impossibilities. You want to know who you are, said Jesus. Come, sit in the grass with me. Consider the daisies. Watch the sparrows. Listen to the storm, ponder life's fiery flames. Listen to the waves. Bathe in the sunlight. This is the bread of life. You are holy. You are whole. You are breath. You are dreams. Continue breathing deeply. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. This is my daily bread. This is my daily bread. Your very word spoken to me. And I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. And I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. I'm lost without you. I'm nothing without you.
modern reading.
You're not, I didn't turn that on, sorry.
The modern reading, The Fragile and the Fierce by Angie Sullins. They told me you can't be the storm and the flower. Choose, they said, be soft or be strong, never both. So I broke their rules and grew thorns on my petals. Some days I cry over broken feathers, other days I break the rules that broke me. Both days I am powerful. They never taught us that being tender is its own kind of rebellion, that letting yourself be seen while you're still shaking is bravery in bloom, that the hands folded while saying grace carry claws like promises kept. I am the quiet and the scream, the prayer and the battle cry, the open hand and the sordid fist. The truth is, I am either or, I am not either or, I am both and, I am the fragile and the fierce, a song of my own making.
You're invited to light a candle if you'd like to.
This is the ancient story from the first chapter of Genesis, a God-crafted creation translated by the Reverend Dr. Wilda Gaffney. When beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was shapeless and formless, and bleakness covered the deep. While the Spirit of God, she, fluttered over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness." So God created humankind in God's image. In God's own image, God created them, female and male. God created them. They, Them by David Gate, and this is dedicated to Nex Benedict. If God created night and day and dawn, and of course, dusk, and the tangerine rose pink sunset, and the deep amethyst twilight, and the infant bright of morning, then to perceive the world in binary is to forego knowledge of the divine.
To perceive the world in binary is to forego knowledge of the divine. What is the binary?
Either or.
Either or thinking. True or false, right or wrong. Say that again. Male or female. Male or female is binary.
Us and them.
Us and them. Dangerous binary. I think of it as a quest for certitude. The quest for the unattainable, absolute. And as much as I appreciate the poem by David Gates, I feel like there's some binary thinking in that last line. To forego the binary, to perceive the world in binaries, to forego knowledge of the divine. I say that because sometimes binary thinking is my friend, especially when I am learning and unlearning, or thinking about where I want to go in life and where I am in life and what I believe and what I used to believe. Binary thinking for me is especially useful when it comes to excavating and exculpating those life lessons which are embedded so deeply. I gotta see them to get rid of them. So my technique is to make a binary list. This is what I used to think. This is what I think now. This is how I used to pray. This is how I pray now. This is the old story. This is the new story. Binary thinking helps me with learning and unlearning and discerning what is continually unfolding. And it is a linear process, right? Straight line. It's a comparison of then and now, contrast of opposites. It is a way of separating and dividing and compartmentalizing, which can be useful, and it is also very, very harmful. It's especially harmful when binary thinking is used to separate, divide, and compartmentalize us and them, humans. Especially harmful when we use binary thinking to simplify humans and try to put us into neat, tidy categories, such as male and female. Because the idea of male and female, in my experience, comes with that gender-based binary list of what men do and don't do, and what girls do and don't do or should do. I don't know about you, but I grew up with a long list, right? I grew up in a culture which insisted that girls were sugar and spice and all things nice. And when we weren't, we were what? Angry, PMSing, over-emotional, irrational. There was a long list of gender norms for the boys too. Boys were strong and tough. Boys don't wear pink. Boys never cry. And you know what? As a kid, as a child, I knew none of that was right. As a child, I knew that doesn't even make sense. You know why it didn't make sense and doesn't make sense? Because it's all made up, right? It's all made up. It is a social construct. It is stuff people make up, especially people in power who insist they are the experts. They know what's right. So humans are sexual beings. We're all born into and with a sexuality. But the gender norms, which I was handed, were y'all handed those too? Am I alone in this? Those gender norms are social constructs. They were created by our culture and they are rooted in limiting binary thinking. And they become deeply, deeply, deeply embedded in our psyches. Do I need to personalize that? They become deeply embedded. They have become deeply embedded in my psyche. It often takes an act of divine intervention to release them, to break them. Being released from binary thinking is an act of liberation. It's free. It's life-giving. I have come to set the people free, said Jesus. I've come so they might have life in abundance. That's a Jesus teaching. Years ago, I heard a story on PBS, which I think I share this story every June. But it continues to help me understand how deeply embedded these ways of thinking get into my psyche. And it's the story of a young couple who found out they were pregnant. And one of the very first questions people ask is, boy or girl? Even the doctor is like, do you want to know if you're having a boy or a girl? And I'm like, here, let me hand it to you. And this couple said, no, we don't want to know. And when the baby was born, they refused to tell anyone whether it was a girl or a boy. And their families. And when I think about this, they did not know how to relate to that baby. It threw them off because they did not know the gender. I think about that story so often. Do you talk to boy babies different than you talk to girl babies? You would all sit there shaking your head, no, I guarantee you do. I guarantee you do. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Would you know how to talk to a baby if you didn't know if it was a boy or a girl? What happens when you see a child in the store and you can't tell? That ever happened to you? That's right. I don't say, oh, it makes me uncomfortable. It made their family and friends mad. Their family was furious over that. Again, because they did not know how to interact, because nobody said, this is a girl or this is a boy. They simply said, here's a human. Here's a baby human. This week I read a story that helped me understand what it means to transition away from binary thinking and into a rich, complete, whole, and holy human. I can't tell you where I read the story because I read too many books all at once. So it's either in Transforming, the Bible and Lives of Transgender Christians, or it's in the Big Queer Bible Study, or it's in American Teenager, because those are the 3 books I'm reading right now. Highly recommend all of them. But the person who was transitioning was asked a binary question. And the question was, do you feel more like a man now? And it was a sincere question. Do you feel like, what you intended? And the person who was transitioning had already done their work in the binary. They were already free of that kind of thinking. And they responded, I don't feel any of that. That wasn't the goal. The goal was not about feeling more male or more female. The goal was to feel like me. The goal is to feel like me, which is way above and beyond all the gender norms. When I read that, I went back to that old way of thinking, which is so much moving above, moving above and beyond. It made me think of that idea of the way our souls can live outside of our bodies. Maybe think, like, if you really want to know who you are, look up and watch the dust sparkle. Watch the dust sparkle and then ask, what's sparkling in you? What's sparkling in us? Humans made from the dirt and the dust. And then I hear that cultural conditioning. Dust is dirty. Right? The dust is sparkly and we are made of dust. The water sparkles. What's sparkling in you? Oh, humans created in a beginning, in the holy image of sparkling water and sparkling dust. What is sparkling in you? Jesus invited us all up the hillside to sit in the fragrant grass, consider the lilies, to watch the sparrows swooping and screeching and singing, and then ask, what is screeching inside of you? What's swooping inside of you? What's singing inside of you? Listen to the storm. Ponder those fiery flames. This is the bread of life, the feast of our lives, where life begins again. Are you going to get the selfie? Thank you so much. Because this is the time in our service where once again we get up out of our seats and we mix and mingle and greet. We share our offerings, our gifts. We share our prayer requests. Feel the heat and flame. I like to touch the water even if there's matches in it. The water's holy to me. And this is also the time where we remember Jesus, who took the bread and blessed what was broken and shared it with absolutely everyone. And in this space, we do the same. No matter who you are, where you are in life's journey, you are welcome to share the bread of life. And after sharing the bread, Jesus lifted the cup, saying, "This cup is a reminder of our covenant to be a certain kind of people, a peculiar people, people of kindness, people who love." So I invite you to come forward. Are you someone gonna hold it, or are we gonna get it from the table? Are you the bread or the cup, sir? You are the bread. You are the bread of life. You're on that side. And a cup of love, mommy. You can come, for all things are ready. The kids might also want communion. The kids also want communion? Your kids had it? I didn't see Warren and Shay. Warren and Shay did too? Okay, I guess I was somewhere else.
Good enough for right now, right?
Okay, our closing song.
All right.
Yes, that's right. Take the lead there. If you want an instrument too, I invited you to get an instrument. This is for adults too. We're gonna sing Old Church Choir, and this is your opportunity to move about the space, stand, clap, or sit, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, hallelujah, and it's nice we all week long. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? It's the rhythm of the gospel song. Once you choose it, you can't lose it. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I gotta go through fire, singing in my soul. I gotta see salvation and it's being born. I gotta go. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Valleys that I wonder. Turn you down just like I can't climb. You are with me, never leave me. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I gotta go. Salvation has come back. I gotta walk overwhelming, but I'm in restored. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Oh, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Oh, 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 clap your hands and talk up to find the gospel. Oh, you'll ever be. Oh, you'll ever be. Clap your hands and talk up to find the gospel. Oh, you'll ever be. Oh, you'll ever be. I gotta go. I sing it in my soul. I gotta sing. I gotta go. Church. I sing it in my soul. I gotta sing. I got a heart overwhelming, but I'm in restored. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Well, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Oh, there ain't nothing gonna steal my
You are invited into the closing circle. If you are not comfortable standing, we can bring the circle to you. This is your opportunity to share a word, a thought, a quick takeaway, and then we will take a moment for announcements.
I think one of the greatest ironies of Western culture is that binary tendency, which was spread by the ancient Greeks through Alexander the Great, who himself was bisexual.
And you spell projection. Thank you, Dick. Other takeaways?
I like being reminded of the binaries that work, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, I know what I like based on what I don't like. And so it strikes me that perhaps going binary is a binary.
I had a thought, really. Yes, yes. You want to let Joseph in the circle? You want in, Joseph? Of course you do, because we're not whole without you. Any other takeaways?
I was your girl and boy story, and it reminded me when my son transitioned, there was concern like daughter and son, like what that meant. Thought I had a daughter, now do I have a son, what does that mean? And I had to really kind of look at that, like you said, I like what you said, that you said you had to look at the binary terms first, and then kind of realize that that doesn't matter to my child.
Yes.
And the relationship is there, not based on a word, but based on what we have built. So I love that you can't be afraid to look at the binaries first, to dissemble it.
Takeaway for me was the singing the last song that we did, and being in a church with great diversity here, particularly in our sexual orientation. And there ain't nothing but a steel mind. Wow, what a powerful, powerful song. Thanks, Gary.
I actually I appreciate the fact that we've gotten to a point of discussion where we don't have to have those limitations, because I define myself as non-binary, and therefore that's something a few years ago we would be discussing in an environment that would feel safe.
Thank you.
I appreciated today's service, especially. I spent 10 years in a church where I hid. You know, I wasn't allowed to say who I was. And when they finally made a reference to gay, it was the last time I went to that church. Because I had been working with children for 3 years. But they're like, well, we would accept gays. We probably just wouldn't let them work with kids.
There you go.
I'm like, okay.
Other takeaways? Thank you, Tony. Other thoughts, takeaways?
I have two humans with me today.
Yay!
Looking forward to this moment for some time.
Yes. Us too. Glad you're here. Warren and Shay. Another Warren. 2 Warrens in one room. What about that? Talk about power. Warren meet Warren. Yay! Yay to the Warrens. Power to the Warrens. There is a conversation on prayer. I call it conversations and questions. So if you want to stay and talk about prayer, what it means, how you used to pray, how you pray today, you are all invited to stay after. Any other announcements? All right, let's share our closing benediction, which is on the screen. We are blessed, and we are blessings. We go with kindness.
Not this month. It won't be constantly. Donna suggested not having it this month. I may need to get with you about the homeless population. I don't know what Ron had sent me of his conversations. He suggested maybe I could speak to you about.
We noticed that. We appreciated it, but it's all you get.
I was thinking more of the age.
You made me think of her today.
never got it.
Sometimes it's maybe they don't lock it. He makes all them down, and
Right.
get out of the car and open it and close it.
Right.
So, I think maybe that's a soundboard? I don't know. So, maybe it's the daughter. Not initially. Afterwards,
What they do is not now, right? They go around there. I've never been to see what it looks like.
it's
Get a sense.
that's a soundboard.
Yeah.
Signs, right? So trespassing at the sheriff, control back there.
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
buy one,
well,
but you should have a fix. And it's much easier.
this
to
works
just
out
order
for that.
It's like out there because it's clear.
Oh, no, thank
Something
you.
is registered with the sheriff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I got my
Setback.
blueberry muffin
Yes,
every
you go
Sunday.
to the sheriff's office, you sign an affidavit that you're
How you been doing, Bonnie? Good?
Yeah, maybe time.
Every time I worry, I think about all the people you break my body, no wonder you worry. That's a worry in itself. Yeah, it's just, we're very grateful, very appreciative. I don't forget. We just want to diagnose, you know, so working with 3 different doctors. This one wants her to do this, this one wants her to do that. Last week she had 2 MRIs, this 2 weeks she had 2 more. Yeah, well, one wants the brain, the other one wants the chest, and then the other one wants the bottom half. So basically the whole thing. You would think when she'd be in there a long time now. But we appreciate your prayers. Well, I know. I have to, you know, get through that so I can do what I need to do. You know, so crazy. Yeah.
All right, no problem.
I mean, you can only go to that. I tried every year. I just don't.